the Core Set 2021 Bundle Limited Deck Challenge. Hey everyone, it's VM Campos, Magic fan, and I challenge you. That's right, I'm challenging you to the Core Set 2021 Bundle Limited Deck Challenge. Now what is that? This is the challenge where you get your own bundle of Core Set 2021, build a deck, and then challenge me on Arena for goodies. Now this is a long video, so don't forget to check the description below to jump to the various chapters of the video, or the little play bar down at the bottom. Have you noticed that? You can check the play bar and then you can jump to the different chapters because it's going to be a long video. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to open 10 booster packs of the new Core Set 2021 bundle, see all the cards that I got, make an amazing limited deck, sort of like a super sealed deck. Usually a sealed deck has out of 6 boosters. This is 10. I'm going to build an amazing deck, and then you can challenge me to play it 1v1, and if you win game codes, courtesy of Wizards of the Coast. Those can include different wild cards, gems, complete decks, to some amazing game codes, and you'll win them by battling me. You're gonna battle me by going to my website, vmcampos.com/contact. Contact me right there, telling me you watched this video, you want to get in on the challenge, that you've built your own limited deck, and I'll put you into there, and you'll battle me, and maybe you'll win. You are, after all, dealing with a diamond level player. So let's get on with the video. First, I will show you all of the cards that I've cracked, then ideas of decks to build, then actually the deck build, and then again, you're gonna get challenged. So contact me right there. Let's see how it goes. So first, let's get started in looking at what I've already cracked and see what kind of deck we can build out of these 10 booster packs. I'll open the final one and then I'll talk about some deck construction. So one theory of constructing decks in a limited format like this is to first look at the rares, mythic rares, and the uncommon cards as a signpost to see what kind of deck to build. So the only mythic rare that I've opened, well, I haven't opened this booster yet, but out of the 9 that I've opened, I've gotten 1 mythic rare, Mangara, the Diplomat. And let's see what this card's all about. Well, it's got lifelink. It's 4 mana with lifelink, and basically if you get attacked with a lot of creatures, or your planeswalkers get attacked, you draw a card. And whenever your opponent casts their second spell each turn, you draw a card. So if you're playing against an opponent that's playing a lot of red, blue spells sort of deck, you might get a lot of card draw off of this. You've also got a 2/4 creature with lifelink. So let's see what other cards might support 2/4 lifelink in white. The other rares in white, I got a Glorious Anthem. I love this. 3 mana to give all your creatures +1/+1, so this facilitates a go-wide strategy. We'll see what else we've got here to work with that. We've got Basri's Lieutenant, 4 mana, 3/4, Vigilance, protection for multicolored. When Lieutenant enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control, so you can put it on itself. You'll have a 4/5, that's nice, or put it on something else to make it even stronger. And whenever this or another creature you control dies, if it had a 1/1 counter on it, create a 2/2 Knight with Vigilance. So you could get a 4/5, and when it dies, you get a 2/2, or put it on something else, and when it dies, you get a 2/2. So okay, this is going more for a go-wide strategy in the other white cards I have so far. In blue, I have 2 See the Truths, 2 mana sorcery. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of those cards into your hand and the rest at the bottom. If this spell was cast from anywhere other than your hand, put each of those cards into your hand. So this will let you draw 3 cards for 2 mana. If this was cast from not your hand, you get to keep all 3. So at the very least, you're paying 2 to look at 3, keep 1, twice. We've got Baron, Tolarian Archmage, 3 mana, 2/2, legendary creature, human wizard. When it enters, return up to 1 other target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand. Bounce back your opponent's creature, planeswalker, or bounce back one of your own creatures, because then, at the beginning of your end step, if a permanent was put into your hand from the battlefield this turn, draw a card. If you bounce your own thing back, it's a card draw. If they bounce something back to your hand, it's a card draw. So there's maybe some interesting strategies there with a draw spells play spell sort of deck, a blue-ish deck right here, so this might be in a different direction to go. In blue. In black, I only got one rare, and this is a big one, Vetoed. Thorn of the Dusk Rose, 3 mana, 1/3, Vampire Cleric. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. You want to force the issue, pay 5 mana, and all your creatures gain lifelink until end of turn. So we already saw that Manjara over here is a 2/4 lifelink. That will synergize with Veto, and if we've got out the Glorious Anthem to do even more +1 to your creatures, more damage, more lifelink, Veto could be even better. So we can pay that amount, 5, to make all creatures lifelink to make Veto work really well. So are we going to do maybe some sort of black life gain, black-white life gain thing maybe? Let's look at what else we pulled. In red, I got one rare. In red, Double Vision, 5 mana, Enchantment. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery, copy it, and you may choose new targets. So okay, if I've got a lot of like direct damage or draw card spells, I get to make a copy every time I play this. So that's a really interesting card in the red-blue spells deck. We'll keep an eye on it. Now, I didn't get any green rares at all. So moving on to the artifact rares. Solemn Simulacrum, 4 mana for a 2/2. When it enters, go get a basic land card, put into the battlefield tapped, and when this dies, draw a card. Okay, this is probably going to be an auto-include no matter what I do in this deck, because it's getting more lands, it's filtering your deck out of more land draws that you might not need, plus it's card draw if this blocks against their big creature. This is probably auto-include in the deck. Okay, the uncommons in white. I got a Selfless Savior. 1 white mana, it's a dog, 1/1, sacrifice this to give another creature indestructible. That's pretty cool. We have the Seasoned Hallow Blade, 2 mana, 3/1, discard another card and tap this to give it indestructible. So they're attacking you, you choose to block, you discard one thing, and you're blocking their 11/11 with your 3/1, no problem. And we've got the Sanctum of the Tranquil Light, 1 white mana for a Shrine, legendary enchantment. You can only have one at a time. 6 mana, tap a target creature. Now, this costs 1 less for every Shrine you have on the battlefield. So you're going to have 1 Shrine, so it's basically going to be 5 mana to tap any creature. Kind of expensive, but those were my uncommons in white to think about. This is a contender right here for something to work with. The Selfless Savior can really protect one of those other more valuable creatures that we saw already. In blue, I got a Jeskai Elder, 2 mana, 1/2. It's got prowess. It gets bigger whenever you cast a non-creature spell. And then when it deals damage to a player, draw a card and discard a card. So okay, feeling a little bit more of that red-blue spells deck, perhaps. We got a Shipwreck Dowser. This is 5 whole mana for a 3/3 prowess. It also gets bigger when you play non-creature spells, and when it enters the battlefield, return an instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. We've got the Waker of Waves, just a big ol' 7/7 for 7 mana. Your opponent's creatures become -1, -0. Pay 2 to discard this from your hand. Look at the top 2 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. So if you're never going to cast this, you pay 2 instead and discard it, and instead get some card draw. Then over here we've got the Unsubstantiate. It's not a counterspell, but it returns a target spell or creature to its opponent's hand. They're about to wreck you with their instant spell. You pay this, you play this instant, and it'll return that instant back to their hand, and it doesn't resolve. Now they'll be able to play it again later, but at that moment you can unsubstantiate it, or return some other spell back to their hand. Everything's a spell except the land. Then we've got the Tide Skimmer, 4 mana, 2/3. It's a flyer. If you attack with 2 or more flyers, draw a card. Okay, so I'm kind of liking some ideas that are coming together so far. Let's look at what's there in black. We have the Tavern Swindler, 2 mana. I love this art. Human Rogue, 2/2. Tap, pay 3 life, flip a coin. If you win, you gain 6 life. So that, again, could possibly synergize with Veto over here if you've got some life gain going on. And if you're very lucky, you could be doing that damage to the opponent for 3 life, 50-50 chance. Next up is the Gourmand, 6 mana for a 5/5. You have to sacrifice a creature if you want to cast it, and it's got flying and trample. And when this enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices 1 creature. So you need to have some other creature on the battlefield, perhaps that Swindler, and then you can summon this 6 mana 5/5 flyer, and then they discard one. They sacrifice one creature, so pretty powerful. In red, I love this little Bolt Hound, 3 mana, 2/2. It's got haste. It attacks right away. And then when this attacks, your other creatures get +1/+0. So maybe some aggro red-white to do in this deck, perhaps? Furious Rise. Honestly, I don't like this card at all. It's way too complicated for me. 3 mana. Enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until you exile another card. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's way too hard for me to figure out, so moving on. In green, I got a lot of green uncommons actually, so maybe that's where I'm leaning towards this deck. Even though I haven't really mentioned anything in green yet, check out the uncommons. Fierce Empath. 3 mana, you get a 1/1, and then you get to go search for a big creature, CMC mana of 6 or more, put it into your hand. We've got the Wildwood Scourge, dump a bunch of mana into this to make it an XX type of creature. And whenever 1 or more 1 counters are put on another non-Hydra creature, put another counter on this. So put a counter on something else and this gets bigger. So maybe that Basri's Acolyte over there will help this one as well. I just kind of also like an X creature like this. Later in the game it can be huge. Of course it'll die to removal, but I would love to see a 8/8 creature anyway. Next up, a Fungal Rebirth. 3 mana, return a permanent from your graveyard to your hand. If a creature died this turn, create 2 1/1s. So you have to wait for something to die to get the full effect out of it, or simply for 3, return a permanent back to the hand. Cultivate. Okay, this one's pretty amazing. 3 mana, sorcery. Go search for 2 lands, basic lands. Put one directly to the battlefield and the other one into your hand. So great mana ramp on this, turn 3, and then also mana fixing to get the land that you need, and then also deck thinning. So this will probably be very good in any deck that has some green. Warden of the Woods, 6 mana for a 5/7 with Vigilance. Whenever your opponent targets this with an ability or spell, you draw 2 cards. So oops, they're about to murder it or whatever, I draw 2 cards off of it, thank you. If they're doing it with any other ability as well, you draw 2 cards, and if you can't deal with it, it's a 5/7 with Vigilance. We've got the Burlfish Oak. This is a 4 mana 2/3. Whenever you draw a card, this gets +2/+2 until end of turn. So play this, and as long as you're drawing at least 1 card every turn, it becomes a 4/5. Draw more cards, gets more big. We've got the Skyway Sniper, 1 mana, reach at a 1/2, and then pay 3 as much as you want to deal 1 damage to a flying creature. So that's pretty cool, I like that. Deals with flyers, it's an attacker in the beginning and a pretty good blocker for 1, and those are some nice green cards there. Shame I didn't get anything in rare. Okay, multicolored cards. If you go with Gruul colors, red and green, you get a 4/3, which then also taps to add at least 1 green mana for every creature of power 4 you have. So this will give it at least 1 green mana because itself is a 4/3. You have other big creatures, it'll give you even more green mana. And then 8 mana. The Avenger deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. So 4 damage for 8 mana, repeatable. In Azorius colors, we have a Watcher of the Spheres, this bird wizard. It's a 2/2, it's got flying. Flyers cost you 1 less now. And whenever another creature with flying enters the battlefield under your control, this gets +1 until end of turn. So we'll see what other flyers we might have with synergy. Experimental Overload, or as Marshall Sutcliffe likes to call it, Experimental Overlord. 4 mana, sorcery. Create an XX blue and red weird creature token, where X is the number of instants and sorcery cards in your graveyard. Then you may return an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand, and then exile this. So if you've got a lot of these instants and sorceries, draw cards, do damage, building up your graveyard, you play the Overload, and it'll make you a big creature plus return that instant or sorcery. So this is a really good gold uncommon build-around card. In the uncommon artifacts, we have 2 Palladium Mirrors. So here's a Mana Dork, 3 mana, 2/2, that gives you 2 colorless mana. So in a game of Brawl or Commander, this might work really well because it just accelerates you faster than your opponent, although it does die to removal. In this type of deck here in a sealed environment, I'm not sure if I really want to put this into the deck, but something to possibly consider as we look at the rest of the cards. I got 2 of those, and I also got 2 Tormod's Crypt. So 0 mana artifact, tap it, sacrifice it, exile all cards from target player's graveyard, including yourself if you want to do a big brain play somehow, but you're probably doing it on your opponent. I got 2 of those. I remember this card way back in 1995, 4th edition. Oh, I love that old card. Mine is heavily played. Before we look at the commons, let's look at some of these other ones over here. I got some of these showcase cards, showcase frame cards. Here's Liliana's Devotee. 3 mana, human warlock, 2/3. Zombies you control get +1/+0. At the beginning of your end step, if any of your creatures died this turn, you may pay 1 and a black. If you do, create a 2/2 zombie. So you can keep making more zombies to get them even stronger with the +1/+0. And we'll see if we got any other zombies within the rest of the deck here, but this is another possibility to go into black. And then I got a common Garruk's Gore Horn, 5 mana. It's just a big old 7/3 with a beautiful frame. I think I love the Garruk frame better than the Liliana frame. I don't know. I wish it was more black than purple. I think Magic does that a lot. That black is now purple. But this green one looks pretty amazing, and it's a common. But I just wanted to show this one before going on. And then lastly, how about these foils? Radiant Fountain, when it enters you gain 2 life. Once again, that synergizes with Veto, but then it gives you colorless mana. It looks nice and shiny. Then I got the Gloom Sower. This is common, 6 mana horror. It's an 8/6, and when it becomes blocked, that creature's controller loses 2 life, and you gain 2 life. Once again, synergy with Veto, but that's a lot of mana. It is an 8/6 though, pretty impressive, as well as that foily art. And then lastly, the Waker of the Wave. So here's another one of these whales, 7 mana, 7/7. Their creatures get -1/-0. Love the foiling on that. So some more possibilities there for this deck that's coming together. Actually, one more thing. All of these bundles come with a couple of extra things, such as these beautiful new lands, and there's also them in foil, as well as everyone gets a pack leader. You get a pack leader, you get a pack leader, you all get a pack leader. So 2 mana, 2/2 with the alternate art. Other dogs you control get +1/+0. So far, I've only shown that I've gotten 1 other dog, which is a good one. And when your dogs attack, they all become indestructible to combat damage at that point. So let's see if we can pull any other dogs and make some sort of like maybe aggro. Oh, actually this other dog right here, the Bolt Hound, will also do very well with a pack leader. This is now a 3/3 with haste, and then when this attacks, this is indestructible if this attacks, and then this one makes this one into a 3/2 and they're indestructible. That could be a real game changer as we look at more of these cards that I might pull. And then the rest are just the foil lands. Alright, the commons. Here's the commons in white. Anointed Chorister, I'll kind of briefly go through them in terms of, here's a life gain card, so again, synergizes with Veto. We've got Revitalize, gain 3 life, draw a card, synergizes with Veto. Rambunctious Mutt synergizes with Pack Leader, so you get a 3/4 dog, plus it then destroys an artifact or enchantment when it enters the battlefield. I got 1, 2, 3 of those. Do we want to really consider putting dogs in this deck? Then we have like Horse/Unicorn/Pegasus Tribal, 5 mana for this Valorious Steed. It's a 3/3, and it also brings a 2/2 Knight with it. Daybreak Charger, beautiful art, might be my favorite art in the whole set. 2 mana, 3/1. When it enters, give another creature +2/+0. So again, are we doing like horses and dogs? Go wide, red-white aggro strategy, perhaps. Concordia Pegasus, a 1/3 flyer, 1/3 Pegasus. Warded Battlements, I love this card. 3 mana, attackers that you control gain +1/+0. So if you have, so think about this. What about if we have the Glorious Anthem to give all the creatures +1, then we've got the Battlements to give it another +1, plus the Pack Leader to give your dogs another +1. We could have like a big old aggro sort of go wide deck coming together, because I got 2 of those actually. All your creatures +2/+0, yes please. Feat of Resistance gives your creature +1 counter and protection from a color of your choice. Make it indestructible, basically. 2 of those, I like that. We have the Secure the Scene, 5 mana to destroy any non-land permanent and turn it into a 1/1. I like that a lot. And then the Legion Judgment, destroy a big creature. So kind of a lot of good ones in white. Let's go to blue. In blue, well, okay, here's a part of the draw cards strategy of it. If we're going to go with the experimental overload strategy, we need to fill our deck with a lot of instants and sorceries and card draw and all of that to make this a payoff, even though I only got one of it, so I'm a little worried about that. But you draw one card, then draw cards equal to the number of these in the graveyard. I only got one, so I'll only be able to draw one card for 2 mana. We have the Read the Tides. 6 mana, either draw 3 cards or return 2 creatures to their owner's hand. So some removal right there. Library Larcenist, it's a 3 mana 1/2. Whenever this attacks, draw a card. The Teferi's Protege, 3 mana 2/3. You pay 2, tap it, draw a card, then discard a card. So you're getting a lot of these card draw things. So maybe we want to go with the green blue because we've got the Burl Fist. Oh, okay, every time you draw a card, it gets bigger, and this can get out of hand with a lot of card draw, but it's only 1 in the whole deck. Let's see what else we have in here. So we got a bunch of those. 3 Wall of Runes. There are 3 of those to let you scry to see what's coming next. Got a cancel, counterspell. Keen Glide Master makes a creature into a flyer. Itself, it's a 2/1. The Arcanist gives you 1 colorless mana, but it's only for instants and sorceries. Got 2 of those. Spine Megalodon, it's a 5/7 hexproof, and when it attacks you scry. Got 3 of those. That could be a big top end if you control the game enough. 5/7 with hexproof is going to be hard to deal with. Frost Breath, tap 2 of your opponent's creatures, and they don't untap until 1 turn. 3 mana, like that. Got 2 of those. And we've got the Roman Ghostlight, 5 mana flyer. And then it also returns 1 non-spirit creature to its owner's hand. So against bounce back, get a 3/2. A lot of good stuff in blue to kind of mess with the opponent, and then a big top end there that I kind of like in blue. In black, we got another Gloom Sower, non-foil, so it's just a big old 8/6. You gain 2 life, lose 2 life. We have a Blood Glutton, 5 mana, 4/3 lifelink. A Mass Blackguard. Got a bunch of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 Mass Blackguards. 2 mana, 2/1 flash, and then you pay 3 mana to give it +1. So you can make a little creature big, and you got a lot of them. Liliana's Steward. This is a zombie, so it synergizes with the Liliana's Devotee over here for only 1 black mana. It's a 1/2. Tap it, sacrifice it, target opponent discards 1 card, and activate this ability only anytime you cast a sorcery. So basically only on your turn. And on these I got 3 of them, so even if I never do their ability, with the Devotee, they all get +1. 2 2s right here. A lot of these Village Rites, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 Village Rites. 1 black instant, sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards, so go into other cards perhaps. 1 Mind Rot, 3 mana, opponent discards 2 cards. Duress, look at the opponent's hand, choose a non-creature, non-land, and then they sacrifice it. And then Grasp of Darkness, double black for -4 to anything, so good removal right there. What do you think in the black? I got a lot of duplicates, which could make the deck stronger. Not a lot of synergy. There's a little bit of life gain, a couple of card draw things, a little zombie stuff happening, and then of course hand disruption. In red, I got 2 Burn Brights. I love these. 3 mana, give all your creatures +2/+0 until end of turn. 2 of those. If I can cast them both at once, that's +4 to all your creatures instantly. So again, I'm liking perhaps some sort of red-white aggro that keeps standing out to me. 1 red Fear of the Bitten, give your creature +2/+2 and it must attack each turn. Destructive Tampering, 3 mana to either destroy an artifact or creature without flying cannot block. Got 2 of those. Thrill of Possibilities, 2 mana, discard a card, draw 2 cards, so more of the card draw type of deck. Turn to Slag, 5 mana, deal 5 damage to a creature and destroy any equipment that it might be holding. Scorching Dragonfire, got 1, 2 of those. 3 mana, 2 mana, 3 damage, exile the thing if it would die this turn. Also hits a planeswalker or creature. Goblin Wizardry, 4 mana to create 2 1/1s with prowess. So these can get even bigger, and I got 2 of those, and I actually also managed to get the token. So look at that goblin. So 2 of these to make some 2/2s, play these other non-creature spells, and they become even bigger and bigger with prowess. And we've got the Pitchburn Devils, 5 mana, 3/3. When this dies, deal 3 damage to any target. Bone Pit Brute, 6 mana, it's a 4/5 with Menace, and then it gives another creature +4/+0 until end of turn. And then the Onake Ogre, so it's a plain old 4/2 for 3. And lastly, in green, we have Llanowar Visionary, not just one, but two, but three of them. 3 mana to draw you a card and add 1 green mana. So this can ramp you into some big creatures if we want to go with green-red or other sort of big creatures. We have Track Down, 2 mana. I love this card. Scry 3, then reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature or land, draw it. If it's not, just leave it there because you've revealed it. Citizen Training, 2 mana enchantment. Draw a card when you cast it and give your creature +1 and trample. Titanic Growth, that'll be great with that training because you give a creature +4/+4 until end of turn. Got 2 of those. Run Afoul, 1 green mana. Target opponent sacrifices a creature with flying. I got 2 of those. So if you've only got 1 flyer, this is a 1 mana instant plummet. Return to Nature, 2 mana to either destroy an artifact, an enchantment, or remove a card from their graveyard. Ornery Dilophosaurus, 4 mana for a 2/2 with Death Touch. When it attacks, if there's another big creature of 4 or greater, it becomes a 4/4. Got 2 of those. Drowsing Pteranodon, 2 mana, 3/3 Defender, cannot attack unless you've also got another big creature of 4 or greater. 2 of those. Speaking of the big creatures, Gnarled Sage. 5 mana for a 4/4 with Reach, and as long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn, this gets a +2 and has Vigilance. So again, I see a lot of like card draw stuff that could make some of these green cards even better. We've got the Colossal Dreadmaw, 6/6 with Trample for 6. Might be able to accelerate into it pretty easily. Hunter's Edge, 4 mana, put a counter on a target creature you control, then it deals its damage to another creature, so it bites another creature. So imagine even on your smaller creatures over here, this 2/2 plus a 1, 3 damage to something else on theirs, with no repercussion back to you. And I got 3 of those. Amazing removal there in green. The common artifacts are Silent Dart, 1 mana. For an tap, sacrifice this deals 3 damage to any target. Got 2 of those, so it might be some nice way to finish off your opponent's creature, planeswalker, or even the opponent themselves, 3 mana. Then a Forgotten Sentinel, 4 mana, it's a 4/3, comes into play tapped. And we've got 2 Prismites, pretty worthless. 2 mana, 2/1, and then you pay 2 to get 1 mana of any one color, worthless. Got some dual lands, these all come into play tapped, but they fix your mana. We have the Golgari colors, Simic colors, Gruul colors, Selesnya colors, or Boros colors, and I could easily use any of these in all of the decks that I'm kind of thinking about. Plain old lands that I cracked over here were a swamp, a couple of plains, and an island. Alright, those were all of the cards I've cracked so far. What kind of deck should I build? I have a lot of great ideas, but here's the final booster pack to then finally see what kind of deck I can build for this challenge. So once again, the challenge is I'm going to build a deck loaded up on Arena and challenge you. If you're able to defeat me, you will win game codes for Arena, courtesy of Wizards of the Coast. So if you want to challenge me on Arena, you got to send me an email. Go to my website, vmcampos.com/contact. Send me an email there that you want to be part of the Core Set 21 Bundle Sealed Deck Challenge, and we'll be in touch to see if you win. But I swear I'm going to have a way better deck than you. So let's open the last booster pack here and see what we get. Alright, so we've got, another Secure the Scene, love that. Destroy any non-land permanent, turn it into a 1/1. Nice. We got the Cancel, not that useful, but that's there. We have then a Hobble Fiend, 2 mana, 2/1. It's got Trample, sacrifice another creature, put a +1 counter. So a little creature can make this creature a little bigger. Next up, the Crypt Lurker, love that art. 4 mana, 3/4. When it enters, you may sacrifice a creature or discard a creature card. If you do, draw a card. So kind of cycle things out a little bit. Next is the Pride Malkin. So 3 mana, 2/1. When it enters, put a counter on any creature, and then a creature with a counter has Trample. Frost Breath, so another pay 3, tap 2 of their creatures, they don't untap next turn. Another Fear of the Bitten, 1 red, give a creature +2/+2 and it must attack. Mass Blackguard, okay, I got 5 of them and in this whole bundle right here. So it's got Flash 2/1, pay 3, give it +1 until end of turn. the Land of War Visionary, so we got another 1/2 mana ramp into bigger things, plus card draw. Prismite. Okay, we got one of the Sanctums, one of the Shrines, so 3 mana, this is the first uncommon. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, add X mana of any one color, where X is the number of shrines. So this will give you at least 1 free green mana at the beginning of your first main combat, pre-combat main phase, so free mana. And if we've got the other shrine out there, we get 2 of them. So I managed to pull 2 shrines out of this bundle, so that might be a possibility to possibly work with. Next one is another shrine right here, so the Sanctum of Shattered Heights. 3 mana, 1 and a discard a land card or shrine, and this deals X damage based on the number of shrines you have. So I think this is way too complicated to work with, but okay, got another shrine. Next up, one of the other arts that I love a lot, Indulgent Patrician, 3 mana in Orzhov colors. It's a Vampire Noble, it's got flying, it's got lifelink, it's a 1/4. At the beginning of your end step, if you gained 3 or more life this turn, each opponent loses 3 life. So once again, I keep getting pulled back to like some sort of veto strategy in Orzhov, perhaps. Next up, the rare or mythic rare is Animal Sanctuary. Okay, so give my dogs an extra +1 counter, perhaps, in a land. And over here is a Dimir land, and lastly, just the thing that reminds you how to play on Arena. So yeah, cool, that was the last pack. So once again, if you challenge me, I'm going to build a 40-card deck to challenge you with on Arena out of this sealed pool. If you want to challenge me with your own sealed pool out of the bundle, you got to contact me, vmcampos.com/pound contact. We'll be in touch about doing the 1v1 on this, so you can win some Arena game codes. I think that'll be fun. So let's build this deck. Okay, here's the deck that I built. Actually, I ended up building 3 decks, and I think they're at various levels of power and fun. So let's start off with this. I think I built a mono green deck out of all of my pulls. Let's take a look at it right here in detail. So I think I have a possible mono green viable deck here. So we've got a 16 creatures, 7 non-creatures. The curve is 3.3. Got a lot of fun stuff happening. So here we go. So here's what I went with. With creatures, we've got the Skyway Sniper, both of the Pteranodons, all 4 of the Land of War Visionaries to get into some big creatures, Pride Malkin to give some counters. We've got the Dilophosaurus in there. Here we go, the Burlfist Oak, 2/3, gets a +2 every time you draw a card. So every turn it's going to be a 4/5 simply by drawing a card. Garruk Scorehorn, good old 7/3, which then of course also helps over here the Pteranodon. Then we've got the Gnarled Sage, and then at the very top Colossal Dreadmaw, and then the Warden of the Woods. So those are the creatures. Oh yeah, and then also the Wildwood Scourge. Get a bunch of mana, and then make a huge Scourge. So we've got the 17 lands in the deck, plus the Visionaries. This could be one huge Scourge. The other cards that I've got in here, I went with the Titanic Growth, one of those. Track Down, the 1 sorcery there. Cultivate to get my lands. Sanctum to get some mana ramp. And then lastly, the Hunter's Edge, 4 mana sorcery, put a +1 counter, and it bites another thing for removal. 17 lands. I guess I should put in actually the M21 lands, but it's just so impressive to have these unsanctioned lands. That's the green deck right there. You want to challenge me on that? Contact me, vmcampos.com/pound contact. We'll get this going, and you could win some game codes. The other deck that I built is kind of a little bit kind of forced, and I kind of like the ideas coming together, but then it became like a mishmash of things, and who knows. I think it's going to be fun, but I don't think it's going to be amazingly powerful. I went here with the white and black life gain, aggro, go wide, mishmash of things. Okay, so I've got here, as part of the life gain aspect of things, I've got Veto, Thorn of the Dusk Rose, so if I get some life gain going on, that'll be good. I put the Indulgent Patrician in there, of course. Then I put the Radiant Fountain, which will just give me some free life. The Blood Glutton, that's got lifelink. The Mangara, he's got lifelink as well. Anointed Chorister, another lifelink creature here. Revitalize, gave some life on that. Tavern Swindler, 50-50 chance to do the life gain aspect of that. And that's like the life gain aspect of things. Besides that, I've also got like a little bit of an aggro thing going on. So we've got the Selfless Savior 1/1 on turn 1. Then we've got the Pack Leader to make it into a 2/2, indestructible when it attacks. Warded Battlements to give those attackers a +1/+0 when they attack. Glorious Anthem to give them another +1/+1. And then 3 Rambunctious Mutts to destroy their artifacts or enchantments and also make a big old 3/4, which would be a 4/5 if you've got the Pack Leader, 3 of those. So there's a little bit of aggro action happening there. And then just to even make it even more of a mishmash, I put in 2 Liliana's Stewards, the 1/2 zombie, because then I also put the Liliana's Devotee that gives the zombies +1 and makes more zombies if you're able to have things die and such. So that's the creature front. 16 creatures, 7 non-creatures. So the non-creature stuff is a Feat of Resistance, gives the creature +1, gains protection. I already showed Revitalize to gain 3 life, draw a card. Grasp of Darkness, -4 to some creature. Legion's Judgment, destroy a big creature. Got that Anthem right there. And then to Secure the Scenes, destroy anything except the land and turn it into a 1/1. And then on the lands, I've got 9 plains, 7 swamps, and the Radiant Fountain, so it's kind of a mishmash of things. We'll see how this one goes. I kind of think it's fun. I don't think it's that powerful, but you never know. I challenge you to find out. And lastly, I think this is the strongest one. It does kind of lean towards the archetypes that are strong right now in Core 21. This is the Blue-Red Spells. So on this particular deck, it's kind of light on creatures, only 13. It's more non-creatures because there's some great synergy happening there. So let's see what we've got. The payoff, of course, is the Experimental Overload. So if you get a lot of instants and sorceries in the graveyard, you can make a huge weird and bring back something from the graveyard for your trouble, only for 4 mana. So we've got over here, including itself, we've got 8 instants, 7 sorceries. So I think that could be a pretty big weird. Some of the instants and sorceries, we've got the Scorching Dragonfire, 2 of those. Frost Breath, 3 of those to lock down the opponent's creatures. 2 of the Goblin Wizardries, which will also synergize because those goblins will have prowess. And then the turn to Slag to deal a bunch of damage to something. So that's happening right there with that overload. And then, of course, we've got Unsubstantiate if we want to return something back to the hand, either something on the stack or something on the battlefield, except the land, again, feeding that overload. So I think that might be a good way to go with this. As for the creatures, we've got Jeskai Elder, which gets stronger with prowess, and it also deals damage, and then you discard a card after you get that. Vodalian Arcanist, it's a mana dork for your instants and sorceries. Library Larcenist, draw a card every time it attacks. I like that. Teferi's Protege, it's a 2/3 for 3, or you then draw a card, discard a card if you pay for it. Got 2 of those. We got Baron, in case we need to bounce their stuff or bounce our stuff and draw more cards. Roaming Ghostlight, to return one of their non-spirit creatures back to hand, and it's a 3/2 in the air. Shipwreck Dowser, it's a 3/3 with prowess, so it gets stronger, and also return something from the graveyard to use it again. And then at the very high end, we've got the Waker of Waves, 7/7 for 7, -1 to all of their creatures. Pay 2, discard this, and instead grab 2 cards off the top of your deck. And lastly, the Spined Megalodon, 5/7 hexproof. Every time it attacks, scry 1. So I think this one might be the stronger one of all 3. Can't wait to try them all out. These are the 3 decks that I built in Core Set 2021 with the sealed bundle challenge, which I hope that you'll take me up upon. vmcampos.com/#contact. We'll be in touch to see if you want to battle and win some prizes. So there you go. I made 3 whole decks out of my amazing bundle right here. I don't know which one I'm going to challenge you with. I guess you can pick which one you want to lose by. That you want to get challenged with. So again, go to my website, vmcampos.com/pound, get in contact with me to trade our usernames and set up a time to battle. If you win, you gain game codes. If I win, I get your soul. If you liked this video, don't forget to check out my other videos on my channel, so subscribe. Maybe check out my Patreon right over here, patreon.com/vmcampos. You get a lot of free stuff if you simply follow on Patreon. If you want to go to the $1 pledge, that'll help me out, keep me funded, keep me going, keep me buying more products. If you go to the $2 range, I'll actually mail you some vintage cards in appreciation for joining the VMC crew. If you can't quite pledge at the moment, no worries. Simply follow for free to be alerted to everything that I do. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. This has been VM Campos, and I will see you in the arena.